I didn't even do my hair today. I didn't have makeup on, dear. Sorry about that, everybody. I'm still on my sneakers on the live. No makeup. I didn't even fix my hair. See me all natural. I'm gonna light up a stick. Linda G, makeup. Okay. Welcome to our show. Our topic today is going to be Ukraine and Russia and any other political questions anybody's interested in. We do want to start off with a prayer asking that all the archangels protect us and protect all of our allied countries, and especially protect the people of Ukraine and from any harm that Russia is to put on them. Give them the strength to fight the battle and win. Archangel Michael, please give them the strength to be strong warriors towards their enemies and for a minimal amount of loss of life. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. I want to surround us, this room, Dean and I, and all of the world in a protective shield of white light and energy to give us love in our hearts and around the world, and to protect us from any evil. Thank you. Hi, Snow Wolf. Sort of trying to let the room fill up. It says we're doing an ad lib. Blessings to you too. Hello, Clarence. Gonna give a few moments to let people find us. How are you doing nowadays, Clarence? I haven't talked to you in a long time. Nice to see you back online.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Snow Wolf. Hello, Clarence. How are you? Hello, gorgeous Kathleen.
Hello. I'm makeup free, Kathleen.
So how's everybody doing tonight? It was very much a last minute, let's go live and let's do some political. So I figured, why not? I don't normally do political.
And this isn't really totally political. It's more of international news events. So,
and that makes it even better.
Rather than politics itself.
Yes. But I was really adamant tonight. It's like, I want to go live with Kathy, and I want to do something a little bit different outside my comfort zone to see how it would work, see what would come up. Because we both have different philosophies when it comes to politics, even in general, and real world affairs too, how things should be handled.
We differ so much on the Ukraine, though. I think we're on the same plane.
Yes. So I think that's what makes it unique.
Well, we are united personally with our allied countries in regards to what happens in Ukraine.
Exactly. But what I was trying to say, like, with us having different views, it'd be interesting to see what comes up during our readings.
The total plus side is Dean always reads him with integrity, regardless of his political views. He reads what he gets, which I love. We talk about politics all the time together, knowing that we have different views, but we never fight about them. And Dean is not a Trumpster, by the way. So we'll just eliminate that one right off the table. So realize he's more of a Democratic side of Republican.
Liberal anyway.
More liberal Republican than he is hard school new Trump party Republican. He's definitely not Trump party Republican.
Oh, you've been taking care of your Clarence says, I'm doing good. Been taking care of
I think his mom.
Oh, his mom?
Mom, yeah.
Okay.
I hope your mom's doing well, Clarence.
Yes, many blessings. Many blessings.
Many blessings.
So how many people do we have in the room, Kathy?
I can't count because I don't. My computer's not allowing me to see counts. Hold on, I can. Just Clarence and Snow Wolf. So let's give it a minute or two because our notifications are going out slow.
Bam.
And check to see if that other program's still running that we were talking about.
Oh, you want me to check?
Yeah.
Let's see. Who else is on right now? To make sure we are at the optimal.
We try not to go up against a lot of other mainstream viewers, so that allows people to come in.
I don't see anybody live right now.
Okay, well,
that I'm aware of.
I think people will trickle in. We'll give it a minute or so still. We'll be patient. I don't understand that question. Do you? Snowwolf's question.
Let me see. Do you have it posted?
No, I can't.
Yes, you can.
I said I can. I was reading it off YouTube. Hold on, let me go to the comments. You in New York State or New York State? No.
In New York State, there is
or was
a conservative and a liberal party as well as Republican Democrat. Oh, I get. I'm not.
I think it's a statement. Yeah, there was there is an actual liberal party still. Dean started 2 years on the more old school Republican prior to Trump, and then the philosophy of the current active Republican Party. And he does believe in working across party lines.
Oh, not a question.
I will find fair in this.
And all this.
Well, we can roll. Let's start with that question.
Okay.
We have a list of questions, but let's take.
Is this in regards to Ukraine and Russia?
Yeah, the Ukraine-Russia issue. I will find her. I'm hearing quite well. His numbers are going to be going up. He is showing really good strength, regardless of what other parties are saying about him and what the negative press he's getting. No. American people are supporting Biden's actions.
I see the world on him right now. So it's like the whole world is looking upon Biden right now as the source of the answers. Like, how's the U.S.'s standpoint on this? What is the U.S. going to do about it? It's like everybody kind of looks at us like we're like the leading light of the beacon of hope almost. Why? I don't know why. It's like
that's the stand U.S. is always taking.
I know. It's like me personally, like who gave us that lantern, that beacon of hope. I don't understand that. It's like I feel like we should all be equally to be sharing that kind of standpoint, to be fair to other people. Let's see. I also see that he's going to use his intuition on this. He's going to be creative and work with others. to see what he can legally do and what he can't do. He's looking for options and clarity with the Knight of Wands before he reacts. Again, this is an interesting Knight of Wands as it does have like a medical sign on it. So that tells me it's kind of be like a recovery thing to try to help send aid. I also have him as a Knight of Swords. He's going to take action, and he's going to address with the community surrounding the issue. He's going to be addressing the issues, communicating and discussing, seeing where the tactics lie, seeing where he can apply pressure to resolve the issues diplomatically. Because again, with the King of Swords, it's all about tactics, chess, logic, move, counter move, seeing how things work in tandem. I also have the Page of Swords. Again, this is going back to working within the community, taking in his self, reflecting, and moving out, branching out, working with others. And last but not least, I'm getting the Wheel in conjunction with Lady Justice. Yes. So there's going to be a turning point in all this, and Lady Justice will be on our side or their side or the side of those who are being victimized to bring some type of resolution. So I feel like we just need to send him some grace, cut him some slack, and let him do what he needs to do his job. That's why he's been elected into office. So let's let him do his thing and see how it rolls. What are you getting, Kathy?
Well, the underlying card of the reading for this is the Moon. And when I looked at this card, I saw that this is Putin bringing us out of the shadows of the world's eyes, from that shadow side that Trump has put us under, and is allowing him to move back up into the light. In our nation, I ran a row for the nation and a row for the world, because I had originally read it as the world, and you started reading, or as the nation, and you started reading as an overall. In our nation right now, there's infighting. There's a portion of Americans that don't like what he's doing. We don't even have to point fingers at what portion that is. There are offers on the table, suggestions. There is options being presented to Putin. He's not just laying across the tree and ignoring everybody. He's actually working with a team of very bright, forward-thinking people. He is not the one that's going to, I alone can fix it. Putin works in a team in conjunction with extremely bright people. He's hearing everything that comes on the table and making educated decisions on what direction we're going. And he is moving forward. He is moving forward swiftly with his chariot in the center, to work with the UN, to work with NATO, to communicate, even having tried to work with Putin prior to this incident. He's doing everything he can to keep that world peace. Yes, he does feel a little bit bound up. He would like to have more control of the situation, but this is a dire time. He can't cross certain lines because of requirements under our laws, and he's not going to violate laws and jump into another war, which makes him feel a little bound up, because none of us want to go to war, but all of us want to help protect the UK, the Ukraine. So that makes it difficult, because really he would love to be able to put boots on the ground, but he doesn't want to start a world war. So he's restraining himself from taking extreme accelerated action that wouldn't fall under the constitutional realms. He is being perceived, though, as the Queen of Pentacles. He will invest money. He will invest arms. He will help protect the people. He's stepping up like a mother figure, helping out in every possible legal way he can to help the Ukrainian people to be able to fight these battles, including providing the weapons and stuff that were once tried to be taken away from agreements that we had already passed in our Congress and our Senate to help them out with. He is now moving forward with that, with the blessing of our Senate and our Congress. He has got the purse strings to do that right now. The world looks at him as a magician. They think very highly of the way the United States reacts in these kind of situations because we've always taken a top shelf position on international relationships. They do not see us with this 5 of cups. They do not see this as we have 3 cups down. They see him as working with the 2 full cups and moving forward as swiftly as he can. They recognize that this position is destined by Putin. He was supposed to be in this position. He is supposed to take that leadership role, and he is going to help propel world peace in an upward motion, as destiny has been calling it. He is going to help with NATO and our allied countries to move this incident into calmer waters. Is it going to happen overnight? No. Is it going to be a battle? Yes. But in the end, we get the Ace of Swords. There will be victory for Ukraine. There will be victory for world peace. Then I think we're going to see a lot of change of laws happen, a lot of change of world infrastructure, the way the world will conduct itself and accept this kind of action and the penalties thereof of a country that would even think to even cross a line and invade another country. There will be some specific language put into world peace agreements, how we're going to maintain world peace and prevent another world war from ever happening. I think you're going to see the strength of the NATO and UN forces and get stronger and pull more people forward in supporting that world peace. So that's what I'm seeing happening on that.
Nice. I kind of wondered too, Kathy, like you said that with those cards, like if we were to put the boots down on the ground, would that ignite a world war faster than just sending the aid for support at first?
Absolutely. I heard yes. I mean, as soon as that came out of your mouth, I heard yes. That would accelerate it into a world war. We do not want a world war. Now, mind you, we have some troops on the ground in Ukraine, but they're providing weaponry, they're providing training to use the weaponry, etc., etc. We have special forces. They're collecting information. They're not on the front lines fighting right now. They're in support of their services, getting their people up and running to be able to use those weapons. I'm getting feedback from you, Dean.
Oh, because I set my I'm relocating my keyboard out of the way.
Oh, okay. Where is everybody? I know we're on it. Dinner time part of it. Maybe they're in bed. I'm going to switch over to the private because that's where we posted a bunch of questions here. Okay. Our first question that we had, Dean told me you're going to have to copy him and paste him into the chat. I did listen to the instructions, Dean. Did I remember when to do it? No.
No.
He doesn't know what he's asking me to do.
Or just copy him and paste him into the chat as we go along.
That's what I'm doing, but then I'm going to throw him up there. Okay, our first question, it's not my question, but is a question on our list. How will Ukraine talk of a ceasefire occur with Putin's continue?
If Putin continues his invasion in Ukraine.
Thank you. I'm getting tongue-tied. So how will that move forward? Having talks? Is this the border talks we're talking about that they're discussing having on Barcelona? Well, I'm hearing Zelensky has already called it. It will be unproductive. I do want to see the cards. Because Putin's idea of talks is put all your arms down and surrender. And that's not going to happen. That's not talks. That's not even reasoning. Okay, I'm heard change decks. My deck doesn't like this.
Okay. So what I'm getting is, like you said, it's not going to happen. I mean, if this is going to happen, it has to come from both sides. Because the bottom of my deck, I do have the Magician, which is telling me that this is going to have to be something that both sides want to work out, to resolve an issue, that they're going to have to work together. They're going to have to manifest it on both ends to come to some form of compromise. But I don't think it's going to happen, because right now I'm thinking the Putin standpoint is he sees them as weak. He sees them as like this is the Queen of Swords, right? But at the viewpoint of seeing the King of Swords, right? He's seeing them as somebody he can control, somebody he can dominate, be at his beck and call to do whatever he expects them to do, to rule. This is his mindset. He is a ruler, he is a king, and he's going to like enforce his dominance on anybody that's going to allow him to do that. Okay. Will they succeed? Will he succeed? I don't think so. I think it's going to trigger an event that's going to spiral out of control. What do I mean by that? I mean that it's not going to look favorably from their standpoint, because they want the talks. They want to work out the issues, resolve the issues. Because I have the Queen of Pentacles here. The Queen of Pentacles is all about saving those resources, the betterment of us, making sure we have sound jobs that are available, good medical resources for our people, a way to provide like funding for things, establishing good communities, working with partnerships with our neighbors. That is what this queen is symbolizing, that wanting to talk. Okay. But what's going to end up happening is, I feel like he's kind of like a warrior in the aspect. He's going to send his troops, and what is he going to do? He's the Knight of Swords here, not wanting to listen to any negotiation. He's going to, like, how like animals pee to mark their territory. This is what I feel like he's doing. He's marking his territory. He's trying to state his manly ego out, right? The manly ego, to take down the queen, to move past the queen into that king leadership role. Again, I'm having a lot when it's coming to Putin and Russia, it's coming off as very much a swords domination, not so much of looking at communicating or working through differences as you would think swords would represent communication. Not from his standpoint. It's all about, it's like a game of Risk. And I've said that before about him when I've read on his energy, which I don't really like. It's all about a game of Risk, a chessboard, move, counter move, strategy. And I think between both peoples, between both countries, I feel like they don't want anything to do with this. And why do I say that? I have the Four of Wands into the Five of Wands. Looks like a revolt there, right? It's going to put both sides in a revolt to try to take down the main source of the issue, which is, he who should not be named at this point, right? Who's causing all of this turmoil right now between these two countries, which is going to leave it to an end to a beginning. Which, what I mean by that, I have the Ten of Wands here. It's going to lead them to pick up the pieces eventually and ignite the flame again into the Ace of Wands. This is a blending. Again, it's a cycle. A 10 back to an 8, a recycling, a cleansing at this point, which I think both parties are looking for eventually. This is what needs to happen, a cleansing to move forward. What do you got, Kathy?
Wow. Well, my underlying card is really interesting and it speaks volumes. I am moved to the deck of oppositions, which just seemed the most appropriate deck calling to this reading. And the underlying card I got is the dark side of the moon. This is the moon in reverse in the opposition deck. The opposition deck has a positive and a negative side. This has a scouring man in the moon face that's angry and furious, with the pit bull with the falling tower behind and in the rubble of destruction. This is representing where Vladimir Putin is coming in for this talk. He wants to be the pit bull and just bull over the whole situation. He's going to inform however you say his name, the president of Ukraine, that just take it like a man. I will take over your country. Yes, you will be heartbroken, but you'll get over it. The truth of the matter is, he's not coming to the table to have a discussion. He's coming to the table to tell him, I'm the Four of Pentacles in reverse. You are not going to hold on to what you want to hold on to. I'm going to take it away. You're going to lose. But Zelensky is coming to the table as the Page of Cups. No, you won't. My message is, it's my country, my people, and you do not have a right to come in and dictate what you will and will not take from us. Zelensky's telling him right now, with the dark side of the Eight of Swords reversed, we are not bound by you. We will not stay bound. Remember, the positive side of the Eight of Cups is the bound person that could get away if they try. He's telling us we're not accepting that bound. He put the rope on the chair. We are not going to be tied to a chair under your rule. So take your swords and leave. And he is seeing Putin is being extremely off balance. He hasn't thought out how he was going to approach. Talks are something that means negotiation, being reasonable, bringing something concrete to the table. Putin's going in as an unbalanced fool. And no. My concern about this possible meeting is, will they try to capture Zelensky in the process of this?
Will they try to capture Zelensky?
Yeah. Will they try to seize him? I don't think they would kill him, but will they try to take him under control, kidnap him, imprison him? I heard no.
Yes. No?
I heard no, they won't. He will come well protected and armed. And he will not lay down his personal arm during negotiations either. But I will throw.
So I was thinking yes, only because it seemed like from their standpoint it would be something that they would do regardless.
Zelensky's coming with an olive branch in his hand as that wanting victory in this negotiation, which I think he will achieve. He's coming in as the Six of Wands, that victory, but this victory card, he's holding an olive branch. So he's coming in this with good faith. Russia sees this as a karmic turning point for them. They're going to take over. They're seeing the dark side of the Wheel of Fortune. But Zelensky's coming forward in good faith, in strength, in motion. He's divinely protected by guides. He knows what he's doing. He will be extremely reasonable. And like you said, protect it. But yes, there is an underlying death card there, Putin. I got 2 cards come out, and the King of Cups. Putin wants to show his strength as a reverse King of Cups. He doesn't have the power, the emotion to take over this country. And although he's representing him as the dark side of death, I don't think he's going to be successful. I am not seeing, I want to see what the underlying card is. Oh, yeah. He is coming in negative. He is coming in as the devil, Putin is. That's the underlying card of the reading. And Zelensky will run away with the 8 of Wands. He will run to safety. And he's being protected by the Knight of Swords. So he's coming with protection. So no, he won't capture him, but there are orders. There is intent. There's dark intent to possibly try to. But I think he's coming in with a security team, and he will be well armed himself. They will ensure that he gets in and out safely into these kind of negotiations. He will not be allowed to be captured. So that's what I'm getting on that. I think he's going to know he doesn't trust Putin. So what did you get, Dean?
I definitely feel like Putin is wanting to capture him, only because I had the 8 of Swords moving into the 9 of Swords, which I think this is, for the future wise, I think this is probably Putin's thought process. He wants to capture him, but it's going to be at his own demise that he's not going to be able to, because I feel like he's protected by a knight, and I got a Knight of Cups in this aspect. He's being protected by a loving energy, a protection energy, something that's protecting him and hiding him from this issue. Okay. What I have below it, I have like justice. I feel like again, it's all about protection. There's a group of people, and Lady Justice is protecting him in the situation, and the group that he's seeking shelter, refugee from. He's being hidden away. They're protecting him. I see this as protection for him. I do feel like, and he's going to be supportive towards bringing some solutions, bringing some conflict resolutions down with this give and take momentum with the 6 of Coins. I also feel like he's going to be aiding and helping the Ukraine, because I also have the the 9 of Wands. He's going to be very creative in how he plans or strategizes his support. Okay. But again, I feel like he's not going to be captured. If anything, it's in reverse. Do I feel like he's worried about it? Possibly. The potential? Possibly, because these are scary times. But I do see that he's going to be sailing away, because my underlying card is the Fool, into I believe this is the Magician too, elements to it. He's manifesting his will. He's soaring in the light. So he's not going to allow himself to be controlled or be captured or any of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think he's going to come in well protected. Our room is starting to fill up. I want to say hello, Strawberry Rhubarb. She's working in the background, working on her computer.
Nice. George McKenna. Hello, George.
McKenna's here. Viviana's here. Welcome in the room, Viviana. Nice to see you again. We're slowly getting people coming in. We're doing mostly Ukrainian type questions. Any U.S. politics that you have that you want to read on, we'll also read on. We do have a list started to let people know that we started before the show, and so we're just pulling some of the questions that we came up with. And also, we will take any questions that you want to put in. If you'll put them in all caps so I can see them better, I appreciate it.
So how will Ukraine's application for European Union membership affect the Russian people or Putin?
I think that's a really good question. Oh, by the way, I did not come up with all these questions. These were questions that we pulled prior to the show. How will the Ukraine's application for the European Union membership? Well, I hear that his application will be granted by the UN. He actually applied for that. I heard in the news. He applied for that prior to being invaded by Russia, too.
I think it's going to be moved forward rather swiftly with the fierceness of the lion. So this is the chariot. This is something that's destined to happen, something that's going to happen. It has that loving, healing energy. It also has the element of the Leo, the lion. So strength and protection. So it's going to be moved fiercely. It's going to be aggressively passed through, I would say. But I need to pull some other cards just to see what we're dealing with.
I like this.
Ooh, I like this. Nice. It's going to bring peace. It's going to help bring peace, transition to peace. It's going to bring the support that they need. Did you want to go first?
Oh, I thought you were reading.
Oh, okay. So like I had mentioned before, I did get the strength, not the strength card, but the chariot. This is a different element to the chariot because it's a blending of the chariot and the strength card. So this is telling me that it's going to be swift and action is going to be taken very fiercely as a lion is fierce and brave. So I feel like Ukraine's application is going to be approved rather quickly in this process. I feel like it's going to be based on compromise. What elements can they bring in? What, how the UN can help them, how this membership can help them, and what can how can this be an effective partnership? I'll just say it like that. It's all going to be about give and take. It's a compromise. It's all about give and take. It's all about finding that peace, harmony, right, in that aspect. What else do I get? I also got the 9 of Cups heading into the 10 of Cups. I got the 9 of Cups, which is, again, returning back to balance, returning into the family situation, being welcome into open arms, and seeing that beacon of hope, that light in the mist. So again, this is all about living your truth, coming into yourself in balance with your emotions in your loving, caring side. It's like they're going to be embraced with welcoming arms into the 10 of Cups position, right? Welcoming with open arms. That's how I'm seeing it. I feel like it's also going to lead us into a 2 to 3 of Wands, a smooth transition from planning and moving forward. As a 2 of Wands, you're planning, you're coming up with objectives, a basis of how you want to move forward. And then when you get that 3rd wand, that's when it's time to pick up your boots and move, press forward. I feel like that's what's going to happen. It's going to be I feel like it's going to be a quick and smooth transition. It's like once the application gets approved, then that's when the real boom, 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 boom is going to happen. A quick resolution. I'm not too sure about years time frame when the final resolution and the piece is going to be settled. I'm not getting that, but I do know the application is going to be moving swiftly and it's going to be a smooth transition. And what do I get that? At the end of my spread, I got the 10 of Cups moving back into the Ace of Cups. So what does that mean? It means welcoming a family. Again, learning how to cohabitate with a collection of other members, countries. You know what I mean by that, right? That whole collection, that hoop. If this was the world, it would be that connection to everybody, right? And it recycles back into the Ace of Cups because Ace of Cups is all about grounding in your emotion, having yourself in control. being ready to love and care for others again. So it's going to get that nice evolutionary process and recycling back to the ace again, which is beautiful. And that is what I'm getting. It's very, very, very positive. In fact, this is probably the most positive spread I've thrown tonight. And I can't wait to see how this is going to end up turning out for them.
I wanted to look at what the opposition had to say with the Temperance in reverse. The first card I got is the bright side of the moon with, this beautiful white retriever looking at this positive moon energy, unlike that negative one that came up in the last reading. I'm seeing this is a reflection of the sun onto this application. They will be accepting it. They have been considering it. I get that Ukraine it can hold on to what they have. The UN will accept that application, and they will be holding on. And why I was checking this temperance card is because I got the temperance card in reverse. And temperance means he needs to be patient, but temperance reverse doesn't. And I wanted to see what the opposition deck had to say about the reverse temperance. And it says, your awareness of happiness has been dulled, and your sense of self diminished. You are free to act and think as you wish. It is time to awaken to what limits you and discern what is out of balance. Something that was once filled your heart with joy has turned to dust and ash. New physical and psychological arrangements are necessary. So he knows he needs to become part of that UN alliance. And I do believe that they are, because the next card I get for him is the victory card. That is the acceptance or that UE. That is the acceptance into the UE. So yes, he will reach victory. The next card I get is the Five of Cups, but I'm not getting that dismay of what the Five of Cups is. What I'm seeing is these beautiful yellow roses of friendship and peace. That is the only thing I saw when I looked at this card. I was surprised it was a 5. So I think he will be brought into the EU as part of the UN, part of the family, in that peace, that friendship with a handshake. And I think he will be recognized as the king. This is how it's affecting Ukraine. Now, how does that come off for Putin? I didn't get any Putin cards in here. I read that totally as Ukraine being victorious in this application process. So I'm going to throw 3 more cards and see how it's affecting Putin directly. So
Me too.
Give me some cards on Putin. How will this affect Putin and Russia? That's good. Well, Putin sees himself as this king of cups. He's a very emotional king. He wants to take over the waters, etc., etc. But how it's going to be received as a death card. This is going to put nails in Putin's coffin. He is not being he's not being received. His threats, etc., to the EU, all that are going unheard. They're not taking his threats as advice, etc., because how he's appearing to them is the weak king, the emotional, disturbed king with this reversal of that King of Cups. He is losing strength. He is losing power. He is losing credibility to the entirety of the world and to the EU. And that's how it's going to affect him. And he's going to affect his country negatively too. As he loses his strength and power, he loses any ability to negotiate and be successful as a country. He's going to lose. All that is in his goblets going back into the ocean. So That's what I'm getting. What are you getting, Dean, on that?
It's interesting. I feel like it's going to. I got for the reading is the Five of Swords. It's that conflict, and there he is. I feel like he's standing all by himself on this because there's turmoil right here in this battlefield, and he's standing in the moonlight almost during the sunset. So it's like he's standing and wallowing in his illusions, almost his delusions. It's like his fantasy, his I would say cray, his crazy. He's standing within his. He's isolated, and possibly very emotional because he's standing in water. And for this to be a five of swords and have that water element to it is very interesting. As I haven't really noticed this card before in that aspect. He's standing alone, trying to eventually sail off into the unknown again. And it's like nobody wants this. He's standing on his own, and I feel like it's very shallow of a person. Because why? Even this deck puts him like in a positive mindset, but overall it's like he has the ability to find the peace, to find the balance of the Two of Cups, but he's refusing. Because why? The bottom, the Five of Swords, he can work with others, he can be victorious, but no, it's all about greed with the Six and moving into Seven of Wands. He's meeting that opposition, right? That opposition, and he's just not going to be able to live in his victory. Why? Look, he's right here, and look, the wreath, the crown wreath of peace, it's just thrown off his head. So again, it's like there's nothing good in this card. He feels like he's being opposed by everybody and everything that he believes in. But again, it's his mindset's here in the delusional state. He's not looking towards, finding the inner peace, the balance, and transition to working with others, collaborating with others. No, not all about that. He's not focused on that. He's not focused on trying to, again, find peace with the Three of Cups even. So I have the Three of Cups. I have the Two of Coins transitioning into a Three of Coins, and still he's like, like when like fate, your angels like keep giving you those messages like you need to focus on this, do this. He's not listening from the positive side. He's listening to the side of ego and stating his claim when I don't think there's anything to be stating here. And then I end up with the Three of Coins going into the Four of Coins. And again, people are not working with him, they're working against him. And I feel as though this Three of Coins is like Russia proper, right? The people, not, and eventually their military will be like, let's collaborate, let's work with Ukraine here, and how do we deal with the regime here? I feel like that's what this is all saying about it. I feel like all of these cards, it's about the Russian and the Ukrainian working together and finding out how to bring this down, the man down that's wallowing in his own crazy. I don't know how else to put that. I feel like if I look on the positive side, it's like the two people are going to work together in unison to move forward and work together to address this.
Please tell everybody a little bit about that deck you're using, because it's a newer deck and they may not be catching part of the deck theme. So would you give everybody a little once over about how your deck reads? Because it's a beautiful deck.
I won't give the name because I want to learn it a little bit better just yet. I won't give the name, but I will say this.
Explain how the deck works, though.
It's a blending of the deck. It's taking, like, the ace is blended with the two, and the two is blended with the three is blended with the four, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When you get to the 10th, it goes back to the ace. Why? Because the 10 is the end of a cycle and it starts again, right? Now
that's
with
minor arcanas.
Yeah, that's in the minor arcanas. Then it gets into the royalty, right? It goes. The page is blended with the king or the queen. The queen is blended with.
Knight.
Oh yeah, it's blended with the knight. The knight's with the queen. The queen's blended with the king, and the king is blended back to the page again because it's that recycling standpoint, right? And then you have the major arcana. Oops. And the same thing with the major arcana. They basically recycle from 0 to 22 or 21. 22. It's
22.
Yeah, they all recycle, and they then 20. The last card, the world will blend in with the full. Nope, goes back to the
moving in a forward motion as life moves forward.
Yes.
So it's a beautiful deck, but I wanted him to explain why he was saying, why he was referring to one card as a referral to two. Because not everybody may have picked that up, but I know there was a few in the crowd that probably did. We've had a number of people come into the room, so I'd like to do some shout outs really quick. Thank you, Viviana, for posting our channels, our like, subscribe, and this is for entertainment purposes only. That is so helpful. Also, if you get a chance to step out long enough to hit the thumbs up, that'll help our numbers. Bright Opal's in the house. Welcome, Bright Opal, and keep your messenger on, Bright Opal. I didn't get your message. I sent you one. I think you may have my wrong YouTube account. But leave your messenger on. I will call you after the show because I want to talk to you because we need to get our schedules together. Also, Sharon Sipes in the room. Hello, Sharon. Tammy Aldrich is here. Hello, welcome. I saw a new name too that I didn't recognize. Deb Z's in the house. Hello, Deb. It was Doug Lasher. Loisher, Lohisser. I'm terrible at reading. Everybody knows I can't spell. I can't read. Welcome aboard, Doug. We're glad to see you in the room and joining us. And he does know people in the room. So whoever brought Doug over, told him about us. Thank you.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Hello, Sophie, Sharon, Tammy, Debsy.
Also, some housekeeping. Dean and I are both building our channels. We're trying to achieve a goal of 525 viewers so that we can open our communicate pages so that we can better communicate with everybody and post up and coming shows, allow announcements, allow Q&As too, so we can get questions in advance and also notify you of new programming that's coming out in the future. FedEx and UPS to suspend shipments in and out of Russia and Ukraine. Good. Good. Oh, Doug came over from Brenda's channel. I love Brenda. Absolutely love Brenda Tarot. Great energy. Love working with her and Char both. Well, I'm so happy you joined us. Anyways, we're back to what I was saying. We're trying to hit the 525 mark. Why 525? Because the channel, the community channel opens at 500. But until you're totally locked in for a period of time with the right hours of viewership, it will not open completely. So that's the mark we're doing. When we hit that on each individual channel, because we do have two separate channels, and I have the ticker going for Dean's channel. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, also go over and subscribe to him. We will be giving 5 free readings each out once each channel, individual channel. So it'll be a total of 5 on my channel and 5 on Dean's channel. So.
And they're going to be 30-minute readings.
And they're going to be 30-minute readings. Of course, anybody that's ever had a reading from me knows that I'm chatty. So the reading may be 30 minutes. We'll probably be on for an hour.
She's not lying.
No, I am not lying. I love meeting everybody. And I do my readings cold, and I tell you, don't give me any information ahead of time other than who we're reading on, and then we'll chat afterwards. Because I do read cold. I do not like. I don't want to fish for a bunch of private information to extrapolate into my reading. I don't like my readings tainted. So I know some people, they want all the details first. I'm not that way. So, anyways, I'm working off a list of questions that we have one question left in our. I guess we have two questions left in our short list. Let me copy it and paste it over to community chat here so I can pick it up and post it. If you have any political questions or questions on Ukraine you want us to read tonight, please put it in all caps so we can see it. I'll scroll back up and pick them up. I posted before I'm knowing it's not posting. It's not posting. Gotta enter it before that. Okay, the next question is what criminal issues, if any, will turn up during the International Criminal Court investigation of Russia's invasion on the UK?
Ukraine.
I'm sorry, Ukraine. I do not know why I keep calling it UK. It's the first two letters of the. Also, I heard on the news today that the United States has quit selling. They've taken Russian vodka off the shelves of all liquor stores and venues. We are no longer selling Russian vodka. And the Ukraine has put the use of Russian vodka to great use. They're manufacturing Molotov cocktails for the people to use against the Russian army. And not only that, but they're providing the formula to build them properly if they want to make them themselves with any alcohol, including Russian vodka that they have on it. They are actually distributing already made ones to people who want them. So I thought that was hilarious when I heard that. I went, that's right, use their booze against them. So what a great way to, I'm not a big drinker, so what a great way to use Russian vodka against Russia. I would say they're using it for medicinal purposes. So, what do they call that court, Dean? Do you remember?
It was the court is the criminal court's investigation. That's what I what I saw. I don't.
Oh, it's not looking good.
It's interesting. I mean, it's almost like they're going to hold them accountable for the crap they did to them. I need to pull some clarifiers because I'm not too sure about how one of these cards is supposed to read just yet. What are you getting?
Well, I think the courts are delivering a message of strength to Russia, delivering this message of truth, the Page of Swords. They're going to give him the right to act and hold him accountable. The first card I get from Putin is the Two of Wands in reverse. He is sliding off cliff and sliding off fast. This is not moving into positive. He is not looking out on that ocean, looking what he's going to achieve, which is what it says, when it's right set up, it's reverse. He has no wants to hold on to, that's helping support that cliff. The cliff's crumbling out from under him, and he will be falling to the ocean in this process. I get the Seven of Swords in the upward position. This is a court moving to a higher ground of truth, and they're going to hold him into account. And part of his punishment will be financial responsibility. And they will do this by, I'm hearing from my guys, they will be seizing his international wealth from the banks that have been frozen and feeding some of those funds back into the Ukraine economy to rebuild. And he's not going to have much of a choice. They're going to do it based on fines that they set forth when he goes before the international courts. He is going to be financially held responsible to help rebuild the Ukraine. His position is the hangman in reverse. He's going to be strung up by the international courts in regards to his treasonous, illegal, immoral acts. He has strung himself up to dry. He is not looking at this with a new perspective. He will be seeing it for what it is, and he will be held accountable, strung up on that tree. And I get he is the fool in reverse. This is no leap of faith. This is the fool. He has had an extreme foolish act. He is going to want to run for his life, but there's nowhere to go. They will hold him accountable. So I think it's going to kill him financially. And a lot of money in the process.
Well, like I said, I had an interesting pull on this. I'm not seeing like any one particular issue other than holding Putin accountable. It's not really the military side of things. It's all about holding the person that has the reins on the power accountable. Because I see that right now I have the Knight of the Wands. It's all about right now the courts are looking at how can we provide, it's like looking at ways to provide aid, help, support. I keep saying this because it looks like look for creative ways to provide the help, because there is like a medical cross there on this building, looking for ways and solutions to provide that, finding answers. I do feel like they are going to be swift in how they handle their the legal issues during this criminal investigation, and they're going to be fierce again as a lion with that strength. They're going to look for ways for what to bring judgment down on Putin, right? And they're not going to judge him in the light. Let's say like, oh no. It's going to bring him into judgment and like, you did this, and hold him accountable for X, Y, and Z, right? And I feel like they're gonna hold him accountable because he lost faith in that whole ego, lost faith, like lost direction, right? Because the Page of Cups is kind of like, to me, is like all about love, but this is more of a reverse. Lost hope, lost his self and his ego, lost the ambition to be human again, just but being conqueror. And it's gonna make him have to deal with that and sulk in that and own his own bullshit that he caused. Because this is the Four of Swords, right? It's going to cause him to be put in isolation, and they're going to address his issues and hold him accountable for that. And this is isolation. Do you think he's going to heal? I don't know. Only time can tell how he's going to heal his wounds and heal the wounds of people that he's caused hell to, right? That heart is very much detached from this person, but if there's a will, there's also hope too. I feel like outwardly it's going to be able, by holding him accountable, placing that judgment on him, will heal others. But it's a time for him to see what he did and how it affected others, and holding him accountable and answering for his crimes. And it could be a healing process for him if he chooses to go that route, which I don't think so, because men of that caliber typically don't see the bigger picture outside the box. They like to look inward in their ego, which I think that's what's going to happen. Again, I have Lady Justice swiftly moving into the Wheel of Fortune and taking control of that situation. And I do believe, since we read on our last question, that it's going to be in Ukraine's favor when they get accepted. Their application gets accepted into that I forget the terminology of it now. The European Union. There, thank you. It's going to be, because this Lady Justice is going to bring more power into holding him accountable, and it's not going to look good on his favor, because that Wheel of Fortune looks bright on Ukraine, that they're steering the way, because like I said, they have the chariot, so they're on top of the chariot, they're on top of the wheel, and he's going to be plummeting on the bottom of it, because there's a duality in the wheel. You want to be on top, not the bottom, because if Ukraine's being proactive and trying to bring this into a resolution, so they have more cards on the table to pull from, more tools from the toolboxes to pull from, versus just one like Putin has, and where fate is going to come crashing down on him. And again, he's going to be list with very few options in the end, because I have the Ace of Swords going into the Two of Swords. So he's basically, to me, this is like sealing his own fate with that rock. You're not going anywhere. It's like doom, almost like the foundation from the tower and coming down. That's where I'm seeing that rubble from. He's sealing his fate. That is what I got on that.
Yes. Yeah. I just don't see it looking real good for Russia. Fried Opal posted two really great questions. So the first one she posted was, there's a Russian convoy that's 17 miles long heading towards Kyiv. How much of this convoy is real versus fake to impress and scare the Ukrainian people? So let's pose this as a question. Is this a real military-loaded convoy headed towards Kyiv from Russia?
So is this a real Russian convoy heading towards Ukraine?
That's fully occupied by fighters, or is this a ploy to scare them? So is this a real fully armed convoy? Very no.
That's not a convoy? I mean, is it? No, what?
All those trucks are not loaded with soldiers. Oh. It's partly show.
Tactic? Okay.
It's a scare tactic. But I want to look at the cards, because I want to see what kind of picture this is painting. My guides are also saying that the Russian soldiers are not into this. They're not feeling good about this fighting. Many of them are, they're not being taken care of by Russia. They've been starving. They thought they were there for just war games, skirmishes, etc. They were lied to. So when they were ordered in, I heard an interview with a Russian soldier that had given up, had surrendered, that they had interviewed, and he said they were starving them. They weren't feeding them well. There's a lot of discontentment, and he actually publicly apologized for having entered in as a Russian soldier, because he has family living there, and many of the soldiers do. So they're having a really hard time going in, because they look at a lot of people of Ukraine as family, because they are so interconnected between Russia and Ukraine. with family ties. So, what does this convoy look like? You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Well, this is probably says most of it. This is false strength. This is the strength card in reverse. Major Arcana for Putin. It's a show of false strength. I think Putin's feeling a little bit on the weak side because he gets the Two of Pentacles. And so he's trying to find some balance in the strength versus what he's actually achieving at this point in time. We've got that reversal of the Temperance again. His actions are dissolving and blowing in the wind. He is not achieving what he wants to achieve in this outcome. He's not been patient. He hasn't been using good strategy, and this is going against him. I get the Ace of Pentacles. It's costing him a lot of money to take this stand, to move all these vehicles in empty. It might even backfire against him because now he's got all these vehicles. He doesn't have food, supplies, ammo, anything really much of importance on it, let alone more soldiers. So that show of strength is going to actually come off as when no soldiers come jumping out as a weakness. He's doing this to be impressive, like an emperor, with his power, with his sitting on high on his throne. But what happens is he's showing himself as this lack of strength and this false magician. And the Ukrainian people aren't buying it. They're getting the sense that they would be jumping out, they would be attacking, as that convoy moved and moved and moved. And they're not seeing that happening. So trekking in more forces and all these trucks not loaded, they would see more action as they've got further and further in and then taking more control, and they're not getting the sense that that's what's happening. So what are you getting, Dean?
This is really weird to say this, but this is underneath on the bottom of my deck. I have the Two of Swords moving with a blend of the Three of Swords, so it's a 2/3 of Swords, and this is telling me like swift decisions are being made. But if you look, the woman and the knight, they're not on the same page. She's wanting to it's like she's begging and wanting hope and wants to address the issue, but the knight's like, oh no, I need to fight the cause. The cause. It's like it's all about the cause, and which we do know as a Three of Swords, it's all about heartburn, heartache, and drama that over the spilled milk, the issues that were going on. And I really feel like it's all a scare tactic, a ploy, because I feel like this is Putin trying to make it to live the glory, but his people and the Ukrainian are like, no, what are we doing here? What are you doing? It's a false sense of like being like imposing his will. Why do I say that? Because at the start of my reading, I do have the Ten of Swords transitioning back into the Ace of Swords in the foreground. You see that it's all, again, you see those two people again, the knight and the voice of reason, right? It's all about like putting on a show, because in the background is like the people are just talking, the knight and the, let's say, the voice of reason are just standing there having this conversation, like what's going on? What, they're sending convoys? Like, what is this man sending us the military here for? What are we doing? What's going? It's like a lot of confusion there.
Is that
And
sword stuck in a rock?
we got the sword stuck in the rock. So there's like the truth is like there's no truth in it. It's like when you think of the sword, it's supposed to be soaring up in the air like an ace of sword, covered with hope, with like birds, white birds or something, doves, something of peace, looking for the future. But there's still a glimmer of hope with that monarch there too, which I think is another cliche for a bird, I guess. But in this deck,
Butterfly means transformation.
but I think that it's like this transformation is like where are we like it's confusion. It's confusion, and there's no direction other than risk, a game of risk, stating my claim. Again, I just feel there's a whole bunch of confusion here, and nobody's not talking to one another. It's like I get the 7 of coins, like they want to be a peaceful transition, looking for the future, looking towards hope. People around them with the lovers moving into the chariot, they're sitting here prepared to do their duty to move forward, but there's no real good direction. It's like the military's listening to the leaders, and the leaders are not making sound decisions. So there's all confusion here. Contracts, obligations are all up in question when I'm seeing this. Future question, contracts, the roles of both sides, they're being thrown up in question because there's no clear guidance. Again, I see the Queen of Swords here. I'm looking a tyrant who's like wanting to state and oppose his will. And if you're not standing with me, then you're standing against me kind of mindsets. But the people are rising up, and they're seeing themselves as a beacon, that they can be a beacon of hope to others, as the King of Coins, establishing that healing, establishing a clear objective and how to resolve whatever comes their way. So I honestly think this is a ploy. It's based on confusion, stating dominance, and nobody really knows what. It's like the left is doing one thing, and the left and right are not communicating. It's like nobody's communicating. It's a lack of communication on both ends.
Let me give you some input on from Bright Opal. She said, correction, the convoy isn't 17 miles long. It is 40 miles long. And then she said, yeah, she's agreeing. It's kicking Russia's. The U.S. is also kicking Russia's diplomats out of the country. She said she thinks this convoy is actually making him look weaker as well. I agree. I think it's actually it may be a false show of force, but when they're not loaded with arms and people and those things, it's actually going to show that he doesn't have the strength to do it. Who sends that bunch of, they send a Trojan horse, and the Trojan horse bursts out with all these hidden soldiers. They send that visible troop, and nobody appears. That's weird. Yeah, I think it's going to backfire on him. I think Putin strategically is losing his mind.
Yeah.
This question follows that one. It's a great question because the president of Belarus has actually publicly made a statement that they will go in and support Russia if needed, and that if needed seemed like not too committal. So I think her question's great. Will they step forward and join the Russian forces to attack Ukraine?
I'm hearing possibly. I'm hearing possible. Possibly.
Them though.
But yeah, it's like there has to be something in it. Like
president gets Putin can't even get it to his money right now, so I was going to grease his palm. Okay, so And I'm
That's
going back
interesting.
and forth on it. I'm not getting a clear answer one way or another from my guide.
So that's why I heard possibility. I do see like this, like Russia and Belarus, right? Belarus is the page here saying, like, I will support you, but what will you give me? It could be either or. I will support you. One is the page and one is the king, right? So it's like, I will support you, but how are you going to support me? It's very much that kind of relationship. It's very much, I wonder if it's materialistic. I'll have to find out if I get between wands and chemicals here. If it's going to be more materialistic. But right now, it's open in communication right now, I think. It's undetermined because it's all about what's in it for me, that communication mindset between the two gentlemen. Ooh, I don't like this at all. I have the tower with blending with the devil. So it's all about ego and what's in, like I said, it's what's about it in it for me. How can I, if I scratch your back, how will you help my infrastructure? How will you support my country? And if you look right here, you see an army of, it looks like old Egyptians and a knight on a steed. So it's like, if we were to join forces, how can we erect this tower and support each other? But I see this not in a good mindset because it's very, like, with the devil being a cast overshadowing of the devil there, that's telling me it's very ego based, and both men are not gonna, if they do, let's just wipe this, like, let's just say if they do, two ego driven men like that, there could only be one ruler in their eyes, so one's going to try to overthrow the other. Ooh, that's interesting, Kathy. One will try to, I feel like one will overthrow the other.
Wow. I was pulling my card. You know how I pull and then I look at my bottom card and sometimes it says and read on to tell more of the story. And I kept on hearing, no, pull another, pull another, pull another. So
Okay, I got the answer. I have a feeling, yes, they will join forces. And why do I say that? Okay, they will. Okay, because I got the humanitarian card here for me, which is my Knight of Wands. They'll be in agreement to it, but there's going to be a price to pay. So yes, Belarus will help out Russia during his time of need. But he's very skilled and crafty, because you got to remember, uh, the Knight Wands, they're all about proving themselves, proving their manlyhood, their womanhood. You tell them no, they have to prove themselves, to prove it not to you but to themselves. So that's something you have to understand here. I have the Two of Wands blending in with the Three of Swords, and I see two opposing forces here. You see two knights fighting in the background, right? And this is telling me that's going to be, there can only be one man standing to make the decision, to be in control, right? And with the moon in the background, come on, there's secrets, there's hidden agendas there. Okay. And I also have the blending of the high priestess with the empress. So, yes, I feel like there's going to be a melding of forces there between good and bad. It's like, I can't, it's like, it's hard to explain. Like, you have a mother, and then you have the, the, with the high priestess, which is the counterpart to the Hierophant, so that teacher of wisdom, that of intellect, psyche, and all of that blended into one. I just don't think that's going to be a good mix. It's going to be like water and oil there. It's not going to mix very well, because again, these are two men, power driven, and it's all about conquering. And like I said, with one man standing, yes, it gets the Seven of Swords blending with the, on the bottom of my deck, I have the Seven of Swords blending with the Eight of Swords. And again, it looks like only one person standing again. So it's either going to be Belarus or it's going to be Putin. There's only going to be one man standing in the end, even going back on obligations, going back on contracts, what they decide. I feel like you see what that sword is broken there. That means that trust, that bond, that link, that bond that they had is broken. They sever their ties. I don't know who's going to be left standing. At this point, it's anybody's game. but I don't think it is going to be pretty.
Were you done?
I'm done.
Yeah, I thought you were. It's funny because I'm using the deck of oppositions, and every single card in this reading came in reversal. First, I get the six of swords. This is that moving into calmer water. No, they've lost their ship. It's broken. It's dried up on the shore, being and abandoned. This is where Belarus is setting. They've been promised for their work a lot of pentacles with this Eight of Pentacles, but it's going to cost them dearly. The work that they put in this is going to be failed work. It's the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. They think of themselves as strong and powerful, but how they're going to be reflected into the world order is as a weak, emotional, wrong backing king. They are making a bad decision. It's going to not lead to good relationship with other country and other world allies. This country is a country that moves back and forth. Do we join Russia? We're not part of Russia. We're with Russia. We're not. We're with. We're not. They never quite make up their mind. So this obligation, commitment to back up Putin's going to make the leader of this country very, very weak. The message is that weakness, that with the page in reverse, delivering not a positive, emotional, strong movement, forward moving message. Is going to be a negative message. And I get the Four of Pentacles in reverse. They're trying to hold on to what they can with the relationship with Russia, but they're going to lose a lot financially. And then the bottom of my deck, it shows me that, we had posed the question, what do they got to gain out of this? Well, he's been promised the Nine of Pentacles. He's been promised monetary money, but all he gets is a rose. No money involved. He's an exchange of rose. He doesn't get this positive prosperity from that. The next cards that come out of this, when my guides kept on saying, pull, 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 it's followed by the Nine of Wands in reverse. It brings darkness and despair. Being caged up in the decisions that he made, it's going to cost Belarus a lot. He gets the Queen of Swords, and it's really funny because if you look in her lap, this queen is in a tower, and on her lap is a ball and chain, holding them down, pinned into the tower, now prisoner of his actions. And then he gets the Ace of Swords in reverse. This is not victory. This is not happiness. This is not peace. This brings his country down and desolates them financially. It's hurting them because here he stands at the end of the battle with, this is the Five of Swords. This isn't the one stealing the swords. This isn't winning at all costs. This is the loss it all means. He's going to lose everything. It's going to leave his country desolated and out in the cold, in the rain, and very sad. So I do not see, I do think he will go in to help Putin. I think it will turn his country upside down in the process, and they will lose credibility within the world and in the eyes of the world powers that are currently standing against this action. And he is literally shooting his country in the foot. And he's going to be in the same position that Russia is going to be in until Russia can pull up and get more positive leaders. So that's what we're getting on that.
I wanted to make a comment too about this. It gets darker after this card too. After the cheating, stealing, and lying to one another. Again, like I told you, you'll only be one person standing. Because here's the deal. I have the Four of Swords here. This is usually means rest with the Five of Swords. Look, somebody gets assassinated here. I don't like speaking truth to that, but there's going to be somebody's going to be on their deathbed, and nobody's going to take ownership of it.
I hear it's Putin, but it may not be literal death. It may just be imprisoned.
And I have the 6 of Swords next, 6 and 7 loading, which it's one of them is will understand like it's going to be sneaky and stealth about their about taking control, because you see there's people like waiting like well where's Putin, where's or Belarus, whichever the one this is hiding behind, is taking cover before making the attack. And one of them is going to hang themselves for what they've done. And it's ugly, because you're going to feel the wrath of whomever is hanging you with this fire beneath. It's like a ticking time bomb almost. But thanks for your question, Sophie. I like that one. I mean, I didn't like it, what I got, but it's kind of dark, but thank you for the question.
I did like the question. I thought it was a great question off the one that came before it too. I asked myself in my cards, so who is the last man standing? Show me a card. If it's Zelensky, if it's positive, show me a very positive, powerful card. If it's Putin or the other guy, show me a card reflective of them. I drop the card. I get the upright Queen of Cups. This is Zelensky. Zelensky is going to be the last man standing. He's going to be standing in emotion and protection of his country and in protection of his people. As the strong, powerful queen, the matriarch of his country, holding power and holding the state up. So, this is telling me Ukraine ultimately is going to be the last man standing in good light. It's good to know.
Nice.
Did we have any other questions tonight, or is this going to be where we wrap up? We've been on for about an hour and 40 minutes, give or take.
Okay. If we ended here, I mean, we did a nice sampling of questions.
It was a really fun night. I do like all these questions. I like this side of the politics.
Look,
Trump.
Sophie mentioned this, Brutus and Caesar on the Ides of March. I mentioned that.
Oh, yeah.
I mentioned that yesterday as a being
Sunday,
silly.
yeah, on our morning show, yeah.
Yes.
What was the comment?
Sophie mentioned Brutus and Caesar on the Ides of March. Katie and I got that about Putin.
That's funny. That's so funny.
I never thought about that, but that's funny.
That is really funny.
Talking about that yesterday.
We even talked about that yesterday too on our spiritual show. Yeah, Sophie, did you see my message on Messenger? Because I don't think you had the right link on my Messenger. But if I click on a invite link, would you come and talk to us backstage as we're closing out the show? I'm going to clip it into the Messenger and link it to you, or I can send it over to your email if you'd like. I'll just have to find it. Oh, I'm going to post it here in the chat. Why don't you click in the backstage with us so we can talk? While we have you.
And are we ending right here?
And I do believe we are going to end. We will not be on. If we do come on later in this week, they're going to be later in the evening shows, because our poor dear Dean has got a really booked schedule this week with teacher-parent conferences and tutoring and all kinds of.
Actually, my tutoring got canceled, so I'll be able to do something tomorrow.
Oh, darn! Okay, so
I was like doing cartwheels in my head in school today, because it's like I just don't mind tutoring. It's just when I was like 2 full days, 2 12-hour days, just so we can have I could have Friday off. I was like, oh no, I just wanted my Tuesday back.
Yeah. And then on top of that, he will be off Friday, and I believe we are in the works with doing a collaboration with Shar Friday.
For her celebration of hitting, was it 3,000 viewers?
Oh yes, for 3,000 celebration. That will be with Shar from Charlie's Angel Tarot, Brenda from Brenda's Tarot. Dean and I have been both invited to join her. I absolutely love working with them. They're becoming very, very good friends with us. There's right up. Okay, we are going to say goodbye. We will be on tomorrow evening, probably about 6 in the evening Pacific time. Is that about right? 5.
Yeah, if we do come on, it'll be about that time.
Because it gives you time to get food and freshen the little from school.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and we will see you tomorrow then on Herbert's
Corner. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for joining us today. Me in the broadcast.